I'm fine, thanks.
Did you hear what happened?
No, I just got back. Tell me what happened.
I finally found the Lotto Asantia poem in the labyrinth. It was so wonderful. I found exactly what I was looking for. And now I feel completely ready to do what I have to do.
And what is it that you have to do?
I must hold your hand and go into the field with you. There I will read this manuscript. And we shall live in those flowers and with those flowers. After November 2nd, we will start a new journey, my dear. A journey to the land of flowers.
What are you talking about, my love? We are leaving? We can't leave. You have a speech in less than a week. Are you crazy, Jokola?
I guess I am. But I prefer to be crazy than so-called normal. I don't want success, but only happiness. We'll go to New Zealand. Everything is peaceful there.
What is this insanity you speak of? This is some crazy dream you speak of. Why do you dream of such things?
Because I love you. I love you madly. You saved my life. Before I saw you, I lived in hell. The train of so-called success was leading me directly to hell. But now I'm free. Free and happy with you. Please run away with me, Arda, where we can be free and in love and away from all this chaos.
Oh, stop, Jokola. We can do no such thing. Your country, my country, our country needs you. It's fallen to pieces, and you are the only man that can put those pieces back together. I will not run away with you. That would be shameful and irresponsible. You must be strong and fight for Georgia, for your people and for your country. They and I are counting on you.
I can't, Arda. I do not believe in the words I speak. I don't know what to say to the people, how to save Georgia. Please, just run away with me.
No, Jokola, we can't. I will help you figure out how to save Georgia. There must be a way. Believing peace is possible is the first step. If you can envision and believe in the possibility, the possible can become probable.
What is this nonsense you speak of?
It is not nonsense. It is a fact. My dear friend Michelle Barron has endlessly talked about this with me. She asserts that if one visualizes change, the change becomes possible. You can do the same through visualizing the possibility of change within Georgia and peace between Georgia, Abkhazia, and South Ossetia.
Arda, I think you've lost your mind. It's simply unrealistic. I can't visualize peace. I have no plan to create such peace.
Then we must create a plan. The people of Georgia need your help. You cannot abandon them.
Perhaps you're right. I've promised that I will ensure Georgian eagle rises up and defeats the crows and the ravens. So this is what I must do.
And who might those crows and ravens be? We Abkhazians? Are those the ravens and crows you speak of?
The Geneva Convention prohibits the killing of women, children, elderly, sick, and innocent civilians in a military conflict.
And when has the Geneva Convention ever been followed? Do not speak to me about the Geneva Convention and the protection of innocent civilians. Your president openly bombed civilians of South Ossetia in August. Hundreds of women and children were killed. The bombings must end, the war must end. There must be peace between Georgia, Abkhazia, and South Ossetia. Only then will the grief and pain end.
I know, and I do not agree with the president's decision to do so. I would not make that order. But there have been many Georgian lives lost to this war as well. You must not forget this. Abkhazians have caused over 200,000 Georgians to become homeless and lost due to their ethnic cleansing. Is that just?
No, of course not. And that is precisely the point. Both sides have done wrong and participated in evil actions, but there has been enough finger-pointing. It is time to take responsibility for our actions and recognize our mutual wrongs and evils. There are so many conflict resolution specialists that advocate this very idea.
Well, please elaborate. What exactly do they say? What can I say to my people in my speech so that they will agree with me?
Well, to begin with, Deborah Kalmatsui talks about the need to end polarization in order to move towards resolution. She explains that violence between groups often leaves little margins for gray areas because it makes us see everything in black and white. However, this response to violence restricts our choice of responses and prevents us from embarking on a more sophisticated investigation and exploring the complexities of the actual situation.
Wait, I'm confused. What are they trying to say here? That neither side is right or wrong?
Exactly. Both Abkhazia and Georgia have done wrong, and in order to recognize this, each country needs to recognize the complexities of the situation and where the conflict really stems from. And you must be the voice of reason for all of us and make them see the greatness in the situation.
I never thought about any of this. After all, we all want peace. None of us want lives to be lost. None of us want this chaos to continue. Yet we still continue to fight and propel this war due to our closed-mindedness. In a way, we are all acting against our own interests and only furthering the cycle of violence.
Precisely. This is exactly what Deborah is talking about. And also, my friend Michelle adds on to this idea with her theory of mindful receptivity.
What do you mean by mindful receptivity? What is that?
Well, it is the idea that one should respond to a situation with openness and curiosity instead of anger. Anger gets us nowhere, but only furthers the cycle of violence. Michelle explains that during times of conflict, we must maintain a calm demeanor and matched with an inner state of stillness.
I like this idea, but I'm not sure the people of Georgia will be able to grasp such an abstract idea.
Perhaps you are right. Maybe you should not talk about that in your speech specifically, but instead just make it your basis. You should present it in the way that Letterich does. In his book, he presents this idea of a moral imagination, which requires one to imagine oneself in a web of relationships that includes their enemies. It allows people to embrace and respect the complexities of this world without reliance on dualist plurality.
That sounds perfect. Wow, Arda, I never knew you read so much.
Yes, well, I have had a lot of time to read since I've been cooped up in this house.
I'm sorry you have to hide.
It's not your fault, my love, but we must try to end this war so no one has to hide in their very own country.
Yes, of course. We must begin to embrace the complexities of this postmodern world. Instead of seeing the difference between one another, we should see it as complexities that make our world richer and more interesting.
Wow, that was so poetic, Jokola.
Thank you, my love. However, no matter how poetic it may be, it won't create immediate peace between Georgia and Abkhazia. That is going to take a very long time. Recognizing the complexities of the situation and having an open mind about may be the first step, but it will be a long road ahead.
Well, yes, of course. There is so much damage and anger to fix before there can be unity in Georgia. So we must come up with a plan to ensure no more innocent civilians are killed or hurt. Our ultimate goal is unity and peace, but our immediate goal must be the protection of the people. Also, if you offer a way for Abkhazia and Georgia to be protected, you will certainly gain votes for both.
I agree. And I think that I have a way to ensure the safety of the people. Have you ever heard of zones of peace?
No, I haven't. What exactly are they?
They're designated zones that cannot be bombed and must be violence-free. They're often used in times of war. Basically, they're areas where